So autism and society. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can navigate social cues for autism, because this is a massive, massive issue for autistic individuals. All that plus more is coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ask Me World. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD, and dyslexia. I know, right? And I make weekly videos all about this stuff. So if you're new around here and you've just come across this video and you want to learn more about autism and ADHD and all the good stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell down below, because you get notified every time I upload a video and you may get something out of it. Oh, and by the way, I've got a free Autism Life Hacks PDF book that you can download from autismtips.net. Link is in the description down below. Guys, so navigating social cues. It's no mystery that autistic individuals have mega issues with social interaction and social cues. And why is this? Well, autism comes from or the word autism comes from the Latin word for self. Also, I think it's for oneself, being alone by oneself. And if you're by oneself, you can't be social. So what does it actually mean? Why is this something that's apparent for autism? Well, autistic individuals have a neurological developmental condition called autism, and that basically impacts the communication part of the brain. Now, how your brain communicates. Cycles of communication could be audio, visual, tactile, could be any kind of visual stimulation. And it's data that's fed into your sensory systems. Now, talking, looking at somebody and having a conversation can be quite overwhelming. There's lots going on. You've got audio, you've got visual, you've got kind of like this weird connection trying to look at people's eyes. It's all a bit weird. And there's stuff around you, people talking around you. There's an ambience of the room. There may be noise from airplanes flying by. There can be noise or a hum from a computer nearby. Somebody's breath may smell. Maybe they smell, maybe their perfume's not the nicest and their cologne stinks. You don't know, but this is what's going on in the mind of an autistic person. So that being said, they're not sitting there from a young age picking up all these social cues and learning all these things as you grow older as a neurotypical person or a non-autistic person would, because there's all this other crazy stuff happening around them, and that's the sensory experience of an autistic person. So social cues are impacted by sensory stimuli and the communication part of your brain. There's a more scientific definition for this, but we're not going to go into the science of it right now. All you need to know is that it is apparent and some things can be done about it. Okay guys, so before I get deep into this video, I just want to say that thanks to today's sponsor. Now, today's video is sponsored by Brillia. Brillia is a non-prescription homeopathic medication that is completely awesome. It's changed my life, revolutionary, right? So there's no nasties in it, and it is made for enhancing clarity, improving concentration, and getting rid of things like or reducing anxiety and stress and impulsivity and restlessness, which is kind of perfect for me being an autistic ADHD person or ADHD. Hey, so Brillia is pretty amazing. It's these little tiny tabs that you pop under your tongue, 3 to 4 times a day, or maybe more if you need it. And after taking it for like 2 or 3 weeks, you basically have a change in the way that you feel about anxiety and stress. It's hard to explain before you actually try it. Now, the cool thing about Brillia is that you can get it for kids and you can get it for adults. Now, Brillia have been kind enough to give you a 15% off discount code that you can use to get 15% off your first order. You can use the code ASPY15 and click the link down below in the description to go through to the website. Super awesome, highly recommend it, and I can't thank Brillia enough. I love it. Okay, so getting back to social cues and autism. So what do you do? How do you navigate social cues? Well, I've written down 3 ways in which you can kind of navigate your way around social situations and social cues so that you can be a bit more confident and a bit more well-versed in social conventions, social communications as an autistic person, because this is important. Okay, so the first one is social standing. Now, in social situations, people are stood next to each other, right? But autistic people, be it in a group or individually, will have an issue understanding, well, how close do I need to stand to the person I'm talking to? How far away do I stand from the person? Because you don't want to be talking to somebody, be right in their face like this, and you don't want to be too far away. So you're like, hey, Jill, how's it going? You want to be having some sort of a decent distance. But what is that distance? Now, typically, you can stand with a distance where if you lift your arm up and your arm fits between you and the person, just typically, that's enough room, that's like a meter and a bit away from a person. That's really good. That's a decent distance. You're not too far away and you're not too close, so none of it's awkward. Now, this is a really good way for you to judge how far away from somebody you are, but you don't be lifting your hands up all awkwardly. So I would just kind of lift your hand up and check the time and just make sure you kind of have an inkling or an idea that you are this arm's length away from the person, and you can be comfortable knowing that that's a good safe distance to be from somebody. Okay, so number 2 is social acceptance. Now, when talking to people, allow other people to finish what they're saying before you kind of jump in with yours. So say somebody's telling a story. One of the things that I used to get massive issues with, and I do from time to time, is that I'll talk over the person because I'm thinking about the thing I want to say. And this is generally classed as rude and disrespectful, and it's not accepting of the other person's story or the thing that they're talking about. So you have this responsibility to say to yourself, okay, I'll wait till they finish talking and then I'll say my piece, right? Now, this is really good. It allows them to know that you accept them and their conversation, which builds a better connection and more affinity or a likeness for each other, which is really, really good. It's what you want in social communication. And then allows you then to say your piece, which means that you get to say what you want as well. And then they'll reciprocate that. So they won't talk over you and you won't talk over them. It's kind of like a mutual agreement in talking conversations for navigating social cues. That was a bit of a loaded thing to say. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. It means the world to me if you could do that. Okay, so number 3 is honesty. Now, when talking to anybody, you always have to be honest, but not rude. Like, rude is to impose a negative, honest comment on somebody. Say somebody's hair wasn't to your liking, it would be rude to say, I don't like your hair, because that's more of a negative tone. But you can be honest where someone says, hey, do you want to go out for pizza? All of us are going out for pizza. You'd be like, well, honestly, I don't want to go out for pizza because I want to go home and study. Or I want to go home and just chill out. That's a good, honest conversation. Autistic individuals have an issue with filter. Like, what is something good to say or something bad to say? And the way I judge this is, and it doesn't work all the time. You have to practice it. Practice makes progress. It's the only way we're going to survive. And the way I do it is that I think to myself, okay, well, if I'm, talking to somebody, they want to know something about me or about them, they've asked me a question about them. If the thing I'm going to say is negative, if it's a negative, because you'll know the difference between a negative or a positive comment, right? A negative comment is something that will reinforce positive, uplifting behavior, and negative is something that will kind of reduce the mood or the tone of the person to a less than desirable mood. And so you kind of judge it on that, and you only really be honest, about the things that are not negative. Now, this doesn't mean lying. It's not saying, hey, your hair looks awesome, I love it. No, you just don't mention those things at all. You can still be honest and just not mention those things. So remember, if you are polite to somebody, you stand the right distance away from them, and you accept their conversation to allow them to talk, and then you talk after them, you're on your way to being an absolute social master. And this is going to be something that you carry with you for the rest of your life. It's amazing. Practice makes progress. So get out there right now and practice it. Guys, check out this other video next to me because I think you're going to really enjoy that. And make sure to click that share button down below if you think this is valuable, and share it on Facebook and social media. All right, guys. Peace.